I have that great kind of analogy which I can relate to is resume is just like your Tinder profile.
Hello everyone, we are with Akshay Saini today. He's currently working as a full stack developer at the finance engineering team of Uber. He has also worked with startups and tech giants and has built amazing products. Not just that, he is a teacher by passion and loves sharing his knowledge about coding and interview preparation with others. So welcome Akshay. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much, Anushka, for this wonderful introduction. I didn't expect it to be like this great, but yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for inviting me and UAceIt team. It was like really nice to be here and share my knowledge. Okay, so that's great. I mean that will help a lot of students which are there in your network. Yeah.
So, what motivates you to share knowledge about interview preparation?
So what motivates me to share my knowledge is so see I'll tell you like I was not into this job market like before. Okay, so I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So when I was like since my school days, so I always wanted to have my own company, right? Start my own company, big bill, and like I was like grown up in that like hearing these stories of Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, and all those fascinating startups growing into big giants. So I always wanted to like build that kind of company and scale it. So that was my dream sort of. Okay. So then what happened? Like I always wanted to finish my graduation in computer science somehow. Computer science was my thing. Like, I decided very early on in my like school days that okay, I want to pursue computer science engineering. Then afterwards, I wanted to build my own company, something like that. I was not like I never wanted to go into 9 to 5 job or something like that. But it somehow happened. I mean, even when I went to college in my first second year, I was more into freelancing. So I used to make some money out of freelancing, get some domains, get some hosting cost, manage some hosting cost, and then like and even in the third year of my college, I had my own startup. Okay, so I had my own startup, but then later on, when like in fourth year, I because of certain circumstances, I was not that great in entrepreneurship. So it was very new to me also. So I had to shut it down and then like move to the job world. Right? So it was tough for me. It was tough for me. So I was like that was a drastic change. Suddenly, like when you have that, you wanted to be an entrepreneur, start your own company, and then suddenly you like go out and then you make your mind that I'm not ready to start anything right now, and I don't even have money or I don't even have a good idea as of now. Then you have to go and search for a job. So that was like very drastic change. Okay, I was like not much focused into my on-site interviews. Okay, I was like I never wanted a job actually, but then when I went outside off campus, I saw that there is like I am now competing with millions of other engineers who are just roaming here and there for jobs. They are much better than me in skills and they have much better experience than me. So why not companies take them and hire me, right? So it was tough for me. And you know what? I have been through a lot of struggle. Okay, so I have literally printed out my resumes and went to offices like this with my hard copy of the resume and like I want to do something like that also. And then like I was like in Bangalore with no money and then I was struggling that okay where can I get job from? So that was my situation once. But then later on I had that like kind of ego that I don't want money from my parents and then I had to do something of my own. I was sustaining with some freelancing here and there. And I like tried to improve my skill. And what thing I missed was a mentor. I never had a good alumni network in our college. Okay, I come from a very tier three college. We didn't had a good alumni network, so there was no one to guide me actually. And some people have their like uh, cousins or elder brothers and sister in their home who guide them. There was no one for me, no mentor for me. So you know, and that kind of gets me motivation when I always thought in my mind that okay if I reach up to certain level then I will definitely share my knowledge with people, and that is where right now I am. Okay, so I reached to a certain level and then I thought okay now it's time at least I know something which, and there is a gap, right? I mean there are a lot of engineers just like me, okay, who have just graduated and then they don't know clue about it, what's happening in the industry, what they need, what are interviews, how they are. And I actually have like failed in a lot of interviews. I would say that like I have that kind of real time experience what I can share. So that is what I come and share. So that is what kind of motivate me, and that is why And I also see that there are technical gaps, like people don't know JavaScript, this, that. So that is why I created my own YouTube channel where I share my tips and tricks and all those things, and keep coming up with like your interview and other interviews to like share my knowledge what I have. So that was kind of my motivation to start sharing my knowledge and all. Yeah.
Okay, so that's really great. And since you have gone through all these things, so like you can be a
Yeah.
very good mentor for others who need help, like who the students who need to like crack the off-campus placements and all. So for those people, you are a very big mentor, and hats off to you for that.
Definitely, and then that is why that is why I started with my LinkedIn journey, and that is why I keep on posting and a lot of things. Yeah,
Okay, so that's really good. And like actually, when it comes to like placements, like off-campus placements, what most of the company do is that they take students or they shortlist students on the basis of resume, and resume becomes a very
yeah,
important point for everyone because that is the thing which is going to take you till interview, right? So, what are the important
yes,
points that a recruiter looks for in a resume?
definitely. That is really a very important point you are touching upon, and I really tell a lot of people about this. That see, I have that great kind of analogy which I can relate to is resume is just like your Tinder profile. At first, how people go on Tinder, like they just see your, like you get your first impression made by the profile where it is, and then people swipe left or swipe right. They just spend like around 4 or 5 seconds on one profile and then just do a swipe right or swipe left. Okay, so that kind of thing is resume. Okay, a resume in the job market world. Okay, there people are looking for hookups and girls and guys, but here like here job recruiters are looking for candidates. That is the only difference what I see. Okay, so your resume is in front of me now. Like you will get to interview or you don't get to interview is decided by that one page of resume which is like in front of me. People make a lot of mistakes there. Okay, so that is why in-depth video I have created on my YouTube channel where I've shared a lot of tricks which have worked for me or doesn't work for me. Okay, I have given like so many interviews and made so many resumes, and now I have reached a level where I know, okay, exactly that, okay, this type of resume will be shortlisted in Google, this type of resume will be shortlisted for this profile, and a lot of stuff. So to answer your question, okay, I'll give you in your resume which major things which matters is, so see, most of the so when I say resume, I am talking about software engineering first of all. Okay, don't take it for like operations or something. I just wanted to make it clear. So when I say software engineer, so mostly for students. Okay, let's talk about college students. I have seen a lot of nonsense put into your resume. Okay, the more you make the resume clutter with nonsense thing, the more high likely the chances are that recruiters won't select you because they are focusing on a lot of nonsense stuff. So there are people who know, they put some things like, okay, they are writing their marital status as married or single or non-married. These things does not matter in resume. Okay, even people write their full addresses in the resume. Like I have seen that. Okay, house number 24, floor number 5th, this apartment, Parathe wali gali, this that, and all those things they write. Okay, so doesn't make sense. Or it used to make sense when people used to actually post job offers into your house. Right now, everything happens over email and video calls. Right, so no need to put in addresses, no need to put your nationality, no need to put your father's name or date of birth or all these things is not required. Just focus on few main things. Now, what are these few main things? Few main things are, see, if you are from college, then you obviously don't have your experience. But in experience section, you can write about your internship, which is the first thing. Like when I see my resume, okay, so when I take a lot of interviews now, right? So when I see a resume, I am generally concerned about what he is right now working on. Okay, so maybe it is in your internship or your past projects, something like that. So these are the two major things which I am mostly concerned about. Okay, and your technical skills, obviously. So three sections. You can make major three sections which you should not avoid any time and should be the main focus about your technical skills. Maybe technical skills where you can write your keywords. Okay, JavaScript, Java, Ruby on Rails, so that it gives me like a clear idea in 3-4 words that okay, you are working on this type of technology. Okay, and maybe few important topics, like maybe you can write about I am good at data structures or computer networks or something like that. Okay, so that is the first thing. The second thing is about your internships. Okay, internship, what project you have built, and like where you did your internship from. Obviously, if you have done your internship from Google or Microsoft or something, which gives a good impression per se, and if you have built your own projects or like done some good internship, that matters. The third thing is the projects. So when I say projects, so projects can be like like you have to describe about the project, and that's what matters actually. So that is the major like part about it. Yes.
Okay, so that's really important. And I also feel that most of the students
Yes.
we try to miss out these things. Like we tend to write things like objective
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yes.
so and that's
No
not
need. No need. That's what I'm saying.
like objective, like I'm very obedient, writing all those stuff is not so important. But we should focus more on things like project experience and all this stuff. Right.
People, in fact, write their hobbies like swimming, dancing, singing. I mean, that is nowhere related. You know, you can do fishing. It does not matter. Are you good in your software engineering skills? Is what that matters. Okay, I'm not looking out for someone who is really very good at cooking. What or it doesn't make sense actually for software engineers actually. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that we must mention about our experiences or and the project. So what
Hmm.
type of project should
Yes.
one have in the resume? Like what are the basic types? Which
So that's a really nice question. That's a really nice question, and so many people ask me this question. Okay, thank you for asking me so that I can tell you again, so that your audience is like just by this. Okay. So, what in the project, what we look for? See, first of all, what I personally suggest is that see, you have to stand out from the crowd. Okay. So, most of the people, what I see in like tier two, tier three colleges, they don't do good projects. Okay. What projects they do is hospital management system, library management system, hotel management system, this management system. What is there? I mean, you know, thousands of people, you will find that they're having the same project, and I don't know where how they have made that. They have a single like sort of gone through a what you can say a tutorial on YouTube and then build something. They know shit about it seriously. So that kind of demotivates like what. So I'll tell you my honest opinion and very good hack to decide a project and all. Okay, so your resume have that project right. It is described in 4 or 5 lines. Okay, I'll tell you in a nutshell that your project, when I'm reading about it, it should excites me to know more about it. Okay, makes sense. So you're reading your project, it should excite me to know more about your project. Okay, I should be interested in knowing more about this project. When you write hotel management system, I am done. Library management system, I am done. I know what shit is in it. Okay, you might have done a lot in that. Okay, I'm not saying anything. I'm not disrespecting anyone for their projects, but I'm saying that stand out of crowd. Standing out of crowd matters a lot when it comes to going and searching out in millions. Okay, you have to make your resume unique, right? If somebody sees that okay, Java and then for the hotel management system, then your resume is like just like any other person. I mean, so have some cool projects. Like when now you'll ask me that what are cool projects. Okay? So I'll give you my example what has worked for me. Okay, so in my college I did a project known as I gave it a very fancy name. It was cloud-based trends and in social media. So it sounds like very complicated. What is it? So interviewers used to read that and they were like, obviously, what is it like? I mean, what is this? So in I obviously wrote. So Google gives an API which tell you what I'll tell you more about the project. Okay? That will help you, like anyone, okay, to decide. So Google gives you an API which gives you hot trending searches on Google. Okay, so suppose these days Sushant Rajput case is going famous, right? So a lot of people are searching for Sushant Rajput. Okay, so what I used to do, I used to get those keywords which are most trending on Google, and then I used to see what is the impact of those keywords on social media. Okay, so on like I used to take Twitter live APIs, Facebook live APIs, Instagram live APIs. Okay, and then I used to see that okay, what people are writing about Sushant Singh Rajput over Twitter, what is the sentiment over it, and then I made a dashboard to showcase all that. Okay, so that is what a little bit of project was. Okay, so this was very useful for the digital marketing and news agencies. Okay, news agencies, what they do is they are constantly looking out for news, right? So if suppose maybe let's take an example of some politician tweet something about Sushant Singh Rajput, then they want to see that on their screen right now. So that is what my project was helping in. So that was kind of an interesting and unique project, which obviously whenever I have written that project in my resume, job interviewers have asked me that how you have implemented, and they always appreciated me. So that kind of this kind of projects you can build, and maybe like go out of the ground, stand apart from other people. That is what the main intention is. And and to tell you in a very short that okay, write something, make a project which that reading the description should like attract the interviewer to know more about. So that is what in a short I can say. Yes.
So in short,
Yeah.
like the projects that we
Makes
have,
sense, right?
right? Yeah. So like the projects that we have, they should either be with a very catchy name and catchy, like overall the story behind it should be really catchy and should actually create an impact on others. Like how is it useful for people?
Yeah, kind of, kind
Right.
of. So see, it matters, right? I mean, see, obviously, that if I say that okay, cool name is enough, so cool name is also not enough. Obviously, if I start questioning about more in detail about the project, you should obviously know you have already built. But I'm saying that okay, do something which is a little bit out of league. Okay, maybe uh, create a Chrome extension. People don't create Chrome extension. So if you are doing something which makes your profile unique, that is the best way to go about it.
Yeah, and moreover, like the project should solve something also and should be unique. That's what you think. Summarize.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. If it is solving something, then you get a brownie point, which like obviously person will first 5 or 10 minutes of the interview is spent in discussion about the like getting to know each other and reading your resume. Okay, so in first 10 minutes you can create a good impact on the interviewer. Okay? So that is really important. That is really important. You should not miss these points. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like we have covered most of the points of the resume. So now that resume of the
Yes.
person is
Yes.
ready, so the next step that comes to our mind is like how should we apply for the job? Like okay, if it's a campus placement opportunity, the companies do come to college. But in case of off-campus opportunities, we don't have that. Like that's not always the case. So how should people apply for internships or jobs?
Exactly my struggle. Okay, so it was like exact same my struggle. I like didn't get anything. I never wanted, so I didn't get any job. So it was, and and when I got outside, it was very tough. First because I was not from any IIT or NIT, right? So outside also, if some IITian is searching for a job out off campus, right, they get a little bit of plus bonus factor, and it's fine. I mean, they get, and it's worth also. I worked with a lot of IITians and IITians. They are really great. They are amazing. So I don't disrespect them, but yes. So it is tough if you are from a tier 3 college and you are going off campus. It is off campus is anyways tough because see in your college how many students will you have? In computer science engineering maybe you have 200, 300 students, right? And let's combine PE also. How much? 200, 400, 500, maximum 1,000 people you are meeting with. When you go off campus, that number increases to 1 lakh, right? 1 lakh people you are competing with, maybe 10 lakh of people you are competing with, and the profiles are very less. And good companies don't generally hire freshers, okay, from out of campus, right? I mean, they generally, so let me give you an example of Uber or Google or Microsoft. Okay, what they do is they either go to the best colleges and recruit from there on site, or if they hire from off campus, they hire experienced people, not the fresher one. So it becomes very difficult then. So what I suggest, so I created a video on my YouTube channel in depth about this also. But important things to note, what I'll tell you right now is that see, first of all, there are several ways to go ahead and approach that. I'll go one by one. Okay, one, if you are really good at coding, competitive coding, go ahead. There are a lot of events happening. Okay, so maybe go to Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth. Okay, there are I think it's Hacker Earth, right? Hacker Earth. They host, like companies host and online challenges, job challenges. You just clear that and you directly go to the interview. Okay, if you just click, kind of clear that. And even the same is with Google Kickstarter. You might have heard of Amazon Wow, I guess. And there are other companies also holding similar kind of events. So you can go to that, prove your skills, and then you are into the interview, crack those interviews where and you can get a job in good companies. Okay. But then the other way is okay. Now so many people, it is also tough. I can understand. So next thing what you can do is go and approach startups. So the best thing, I am kind of biased upon startups. I've always I wanted to have my own company, and like it is really very important. Okay, people underestimate startups, but startups is a very good place to start your career with. The learning curve in startup is like this. Okay, it goes like steep learning curve. Okay, obviously never go to these service startups. Work for there 1 or 2 years and think of your career as a long term goal. Don't take it as a short term that you have to reach Google or Amazon or Uber in just 1 or 2 years. Don't take it as a short term goal. Take it as a, like, okay, when you are not able to get a job, take it as a five year plan or a 3 year plan. Work for a startup for a time, get that skill, make yourself good and competent, and once you are good at it, once you have worked on good projects, individual contributor, then you can, like, obviously move ahead and grow your journey, and that would be really enriching, I'm telling you. So one way I told about these events, competitive events, about the startup world. The third thing which I tell you about is going and approaching people on LinkedIn. Okay, so that is also, LinkedIn has helped me a lot to get a lot of interviews. Okay, LinkedIn has helped me like I got I got a call from Microsoft on LinkedIn. In fact, I am working on Uber. Uber recruiter also approached me on LinkedIn itself. So you can assume, see how much power LinkedIn has. So that kind of like that kind of makes LinkedIn a very good professional network platform. Yeah.
Right. Even I also agree with this that LinkedIn is a very good platform to approach people like professionals in different professions actually. You can connect to them and like share stuff between you and like get inspired also. But what actually happens is that when it comes to LinkedIn, so many people say that
Yeah.
okay, being active on LinkedIn can take you to jobs. But the question arises that how do we be active on LinkedIn? Like being active on LinkedIn is somehow how do we associated with the fact that okay, post regularly on LinkedIn. But again, the same thing that what do
Mhm.
like we don't have so many achievements to
Yeah.
go. So what do we post and how do we act? How do we be active on LinkedIn? What are your
Yeah, so I'll tell you my example only. See, when so people generally, why they get demotivated, first of all, is that people feel that they are vulnerable if they share anything. What will people say? How people will react? Sharing something. I have just started. How can I share? What will others think? I don't know. I don't have much knowledge. These are, these things are there in your head. These things are there in your head. So everybody is on LinkedIn. There is no user manual which says, okay, you can use LinkedIn. How you can use LinkedIn? Okay. So there are two things. Okay, if you are getting a job, there is one thing is like, see, be a LinkedIn magnet, which I call it as. Okay, be a LinkedIn magnet. So one thing is like you go to the companies, you go to people and ask for referrals, and the other thing is you showcase yourself and attract people. So that is what I call it as a LinkedIn magnet, and I truly believe in it. How does that happen? Okay, so first of all, you obviously would have 50, 100 connections, right? So try to increase your reach. Okay, how will you increase your reach? So first of all, get into the network of good people. So you might have heard of something. You are an average of 5 people around. So LinkedIn is
right?
also something like you are an average of 100 connections around you. Okay. So it is something like that. So get some good people. Okay. See, connect with people who are really very motivating and exciting. There are a lot of people who are writing blogs, who are doing and posting something about competitive programming, who are doing lead code challenges, who are doing something or the other in competitive programming, something active. Okay. Some people do a hashtag of 100 days of code. If they do
Right.
100 days of code, that means they are, you might have seen, right, Anushka? Have you seen anyone with 100 days of code or something like that?
Yes.
Those type of people are really very motivating. Okay, so when you see them doing something, you get to feel that okay, I should also do something. So have those kind of people and start with them. And once you are learning, right, there is you should not hesitate to share anything. Okay, there are a lot of smarter people than me. Okay, I don't say I'm very smart. Okay, I don't know shit about a lot of things, but still, whatever I can contribute on my behalf at my level of experience, I do that. What is there? I mean, if I get to know something cool about JavaScript, what I daily work upon, obviously I am also reading thousands of blog. I find a lot of things which I never knew before, and I feel that okay, I have learned something today. So why not share that over LinkedIn? Maybe if you are doing something. So what happens happens once you share. Okay, so first thing is what happens once you share. See, first day you might reach to 100 people. Then it goes to 105, 110, 500, 1000. That is how it grows. I have started from zero connections. Okay. Now a lot of people follow me just because, and I kind of myself used to feel that, okay, whether it is worth sharing or not, but I never called. Okay. Your post will degrade in 3, 4 days. Okay. See, after 3, 4 days, nobody cares what you post. Then you are creating your own strength. When you write, you study a lot, you have that knowledge grabbed into a post. So it kinds of helps. That's why I say that write blogs also, maybe share on LinkedIn. So first thing is that, and the second thing is engaging with other people. Other thing, if somebody is doing a 100 code challenge, you go check their projects out, review their code, and say you are doing a great job or something like this. Motivate that person. What he will do? He will do the same to you also. So that is kind of like having a virtual connection with a lot of people, right? And there is a platform where you can connect to like thousands of millions of software engineers in the industry. So that's a great way to go ahead. And the third thing is referrals. Okay. So if you have a good profile, I know by name a lot of people who do all these good stuff. Okay. So I know they are creating some cool projects. They are doing some 100 days of code or something like that. I know that, okay, they are good. So I generally, you won't believe it, but I go to their profile, text them personally that, okay, you deserve a referral. Okay. I will refer you to Uber. Try for it. Make sure prepare for a month and I'll refer it to you. So I do that personally. So you might get there, and then if you are willing, if you are worth, right, then nobody will say no to your referral. Don't be someone like, okay, just spamming people that, okay, I want a referral, I want a referral. Do something, prove your worth, and then you can ask for a referral and nobody will deny it. That is my call about it and things about it.
Like even when it comes to referrals, so what most of the people do is they like start connecting to people of that company and then keep messaging them that okay, I need a referral for this and this. And this. So in that case, I'm not sure if they actually
Yeah,
get the referral or not, and even if they get the referral, are they
you won't.
actually clear it or not? So that's really good way that like you first put about what you're doing, and then automatically you have things towards you.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yes,
So
yes,
all
yes.
these things, I hope that all these things can actually take you to the interview thing. But what after that? The next stage is
Hmm.
the next stage that comes
Yeah.
is that you have to clear the interview. So can we have a few set of tips from you
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
clear that interview?
Definitely. I'll talk about it also. See, you want to go to a dream job. There are only 2 steps you need to follow. First, get to the interview, and second is the crack the interview. That are the 2 secrets to get into any company you want. So, doing a lot of stuff can get you to interviews, but you need to crack those interviews. Okay. So, let me give you a few tips. What I see, which you won't find anywhere. To be very honest, you won't find anywhere. Everybody tells you that, okay, go prepare for interviews, go study data structures, algorithms, and all those things. Okay, but nobody tells you about the other things. The other things are, first of all, you should be mentally prepared. You should be mentally prepared for interviews. Okay, when you are going to interviews, each and every company will have a different type of round. So I'll give you an example of Uber. So when you go for an interview in Uber, there are kind of rounds. One is coding round, one is problem solving round, one is data structure round, one is system design round. So each and every round serves different purpose, right? So when I say coding, so interviewer is mostly focusing on your coding skills, how well you write code, how well you structure your code, how well you design your functions, how do you break your functions into, like how you break your problem into smaller parts and write functions for it. So first thing is that, okay, coding round is that. Each and every round has a purpose. When I say problem solving, they are mostly looking up how you are given a problem statement, how you approach that problem. That is what the good way of problem solving, right? When I say about data structure, interviewers are generally seeing that, okay, if a problem statement is given, so are you able to find out a good data structure for that problem statement? Are you able to optimize it? Can we use some other data structures or something like that? So this is what in system design they are looking out for, how well you can design a system, low level design, high level design. So all those things. So each and every round. So what people generally do is they think that all the rounds, see, to clear Uber, you have to give 4 DS algo rounds. nothing like that. It's not like that. Okay, so interviewers are looking for something else. Okay, and people don't people are not mentally prepared. What I see is generally they sit in front of the interview. Now I am on the other side of table, so I can very much relate to it. They are nervous, so kind of, yeah. So you kind of like be mentally prepared before you go to the interview, and like be mentally prepared about what you can expect. Maybe you can ask the HRs also, recruiters also, that what can I expect in this interview. Interviewers, generally interviewers help you with that, okay, you are given 45 minutes, you might have like you can interviewer might ask you one question or maybe two questions, you have to solve it in time. There's that a lot of thing interviewer tell about the interview. Okay, so you can do that. And one more thing is the behavioral aspect. That okay, so you people generally, they know the problem solution to the problem, but they don't know how to express it. So in my recent LinkedIn post, I mentioned about that also. So they don't know how to express that in words. So that kind of like sometimes drop the ball, and then interviewers don't know that. Okay, they feel that okay, he doesn't know anything. So something like that. So you should be able to speak also. You should have that capability of speaking. So that is a skill to have. Yeah.
Okay. That's really great, like all the tips you have shared. And you have made us realize the importance of this fact that it's not just studying about and clearing an interview. The journey to your dream job is firstly hunting the job, reaching the interview, and then
Yeah.
and then you reach.
Clearing it. If you want to go to your dream job, right? If you want to achieve to your dream job, nothing matters more. Okay, people ask me that how much time do I need to prepare, or how much time should I take to prepare DS Algo and this that. Should I focus on DS Algo or project? See, nothing matters. What at the end matters is that how badly you want it. Okay, how much you are willing to pay for it, or how much you are willing to struggle for it. Right? It is with everything. Even if you want to start your own company or crack an interview, it is about how badly you want it. That I call that term as a burning desire. You have heard of that? You should have that burning desire that you want to reach at a specific level, and you should never give it up. So never give up and have that burning desire in you. And if you have that burning desire, then nobody can stop you to achieve anything. So that is what, like, the end tip which I would like to give, and which has helped me throughout my career.
So that's
Yeah.
really good. Thank you all. Thank you very much for being with us here.
Yes.
Thank you for all the tips.
Thank you for having me here, Anushka, and like it was really very nice. Yeah.
And all the viewers out there, we will be sharing the link that Akshay mentioned before in the description of this video.
Yes.
So do check this out. And thank you so much, everyone.